looking at is, what is the information about you that you want to share?
In this lesson, Dawn continues to talk with her students about how to represent their ideas online, specifically related to their inquiry questions for the project.
Before we create our accounts on Youth Voices and we post your profile information, I want you to have the chance to hear from someone else in this room, what does your profile suggest about the author? What do you think of when you read this? Is the message appropriate for an online academic social network? If somebody includes their last name, make sure you say, hey, take your last name out of there. I know we kind of joked about this yesterday, but you wouldn't put your address on there and all that stuff. We know that, right? So you have a chance to respond to that. The second question is reviewing your 5 Self, 5 World questions. Do these questions make sense to other readers? If not, why not? What might be revised so others can understand your questions?
She also asked them to return to writing that they have previously done so that they may revise it and use it to enhance their profile.
I have a writer's notebook entry that has I have like a. Just saying.
I remember that.
You have a piece in your writer's notebook. You have a piece that you can go back to if you wanted to have some fun with it.
Dawn is now working with her students to move them from their own self and world questions that they created in their profile to broader inquiry questions that they can pursue in their research projects.
Annie?
Is it possible to live without judgment?
That's a good question.
I said, why do people feel the need to harshly judge others on things they can't help?
Why do people feel the need to constantly judge others and what?
Things they can't help. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. And some tough. Jason?
I have one. What if this world was just a computer game?
As students were digging into deeper questions, I invited Troy to continue to push their thinking just a little bit more.
Keep thinking about these questions. I think it's great to ask the big questions, the kinds of why are we here, what's going to happen to the human race. Those types of questions are important. And then there are questions that are important about you too, like where will I go to college, what will I try to do for my career. But we also want to keep you centered in thinking about these ideas about culture. I'm always curious to think about how our culture is portrayed in television and movies and songs and the radio. Like if someone were, to go back to this original question here, like how do other cultures perceive ours? Like if we look at a particular song or video or something in a magazine or a book or something like that, what does that tell us? What can we learn about that from ourselves? Or what can we learn about ourselves from that? And then also, even the places we go, like when you go to, say, a restaurant or a movie theater or a sports arena, there are certain things about being in those places that you should or shouldn't do. And that's especially true at some very special places like churches or places of worship or a funeral home or some other places where we might feel very, we just know that those are the places where we're only supposed to act and behave in certain ways. Have you ever felt that way when you've gone to a place before?
Dawn then wrapped up the conversation for the day and tied it back to the idea of digital citizenship from the day before.
So you said yesterday when we talk about posting ideas, even if it's not a perfect final published piece, we can move people's ideas forward by sharing in conversation. And that's what we're going to do. So we're joining the conversation today simply with digital identity and making your profile. Okay? Together, Troy and I aim to scaffold student thinking in regards to digital identity and developing inquiry questions. We invite students into the conversation to include their interests and experiences from their own lives, or what Maxine Green calls lived lives, an opportunity to engage students in writing about their own worlds.